Hey guys, welcome in. It's Tarot Tuesday. How y'all doing? You're like, yeah, I'm a little wobbly today. I'm a little not sure. You're a little this, little of that, little in, little out. It's okay. A little wobble is just, it's just part of life. Like there might just be a little bit of an emotional hiccup I'm hearing in terms of maybe something that just like threw you off for a minute, but you're going to be totally fine. It's actually trying to help you put down. There's a message of like there's an emotional little hiccup that makes you realize like you don't want to do this shit no more. He's the guy of like, I don't want to do this shit no more. He's carrying all these wands. He's almost home. He can't see that he's almost home. And he's just, this is a 10. It's time to wrap it up. So wherever you guys have been a little like, overburdened or just overworked or just over all of it, like you're needing to wrap that up. And there might just be a little bit of like a reminder coming, to like just put down some of the things that you feel like you're responsible for. I mean, I'm not saying obviously like the big stuff, but like I just feel like there's a few things you could take off your plate. This is going to make you a more powerful person. It's going to make you putting something down actually elevates you. So it's kind of a little bit of like I'm hearing the word Pandora's box, but it's actually like the if you just put it down, it's nothing you got to figure out, and anything you're too involved in emotionally or entangled in, like it feels like dropping that actually elevates you. You elevate, you become more of an authority when you put down all the other things that you don't need to be doing anymore. So if any of you guys are working, it's like, don't be going above and beyond. Like, I hate to say that because I'm like, I totally do that like for people, but the message today specifically, and for this week or this little chapter, or maybe the rest of your life, is to not overdo it. Like don't do things that you don't need to be doing. You're actually going to be stronger and more powerful doing less. Do less, be more. It's about your energy. Okay, so you are going to rule with that kind of authority. Like you're going to be more well respected and you're going to be more sought after if you embody that King of Wands, which is really about knowing like when to take action, when to do something, and when to delegate and have other people do it, and people just then come to you. Some of you guys, if you've been chasing around a bunch of shit, I mean, we've all done that kind of hustle. I mean, I still do that because it's kind of fun sometimes, It's like if you're really excited about something, you do want to get the word out there, but you don't want to overdo it this week. Like, don't be posting like crazy all over your like someone's got to rein it in out there. Like I've had to unfollow people because sometimes they're just annoying, Like this one chick I started following, she just like popped up, like in my screen like every day. And I'm like, I'd love to support her, but I'm like, she's just like too in my face, what I'm saying? So you could actually lose people by thinking you got to do more than what you're actually needing to do. Yeah, take a break. Like go have a travel, like go have a travel. Go travel, have an adventure, like take a trip. This is a great time if any of you guys are taking off like on a, worldwide tour, like the farther the better as far as I'm concerned. But just know that like this is a successful trip. If any of you guys have a trip coming up, travel plans, it's going to go really well. And you have to just be the one that guides the experience. And there might be like two opposing energies a little bit, like, you're going to have to kind of get them in line, in order for it to move forward. But you can totally do that. And it's not that big of a deal. And once you're going, everything's great. So there could be a little coordinating up front, which I feel like, and maybe with that 10 of Wands showing, it's like, don't overdo it. Like, don't overthink it. Like you don't have to have it all planned out or figured out. Like it's better to just like go for the sake of going and see where it kind of leads. Okay, so great time to just explore new territory. Like I really feel like that. Like I'm going up today up to Calistoga and just I just want to be away, like just get away for a few days. I actually was up there at a retreat, not in Calistoga, but in Napa on Saturday, which was so amazing. So much fun. I met so many cool women. And it was just so nice to be out, like where there's 1,200 acres, and I'm like, instead of 1,200 square feet, like I could use a little roaming myself. So I feel like for those of you who also have that bug of like, it's not even a bug, it's just a need, at this point for some space, for some movement, absolutely like take it because it feels really positive and actually like successful. Someone could get a little offer, a little invite. If you get invited to do something, even if it's just a party, an experience, like really go because the Page of Cups is really fun. This is a good time. You know what I mean? The Page of Cups is definitely a good time, right? So like what they do and how they present is it's like it might be a little surprising or a little different, but it's really genuine. A lot of charm here. This person could be pretty charismatic or just someone that you really want to spend more time with. So if you get an opportunity or a phone call or a message, pages are messengers. I mean, knights are messengers as well, but the page is like, he's like the first little thing. This could be like a text message or a phone call, like something simple, a simple invite, an inquiry. I'm also getting inquiry. Someone could be inquiring about what you're up to, and that it feels really nice. Like there's just a very kind of sweet energy to this, but not boring. You know what I mean? Like, I think this is kind of also just presenting as someone that we want in our life too. It's like that youthfulness. Like I feel like I love being around like younger people because they just remind me of like how fun life can be and like how unobstructed the view can still be. And it feels really nice to be around that energy. So some of you guys might just be hanging out with people who are younger than you. You could also have a child or a son. Like my son is wrapping up school right now this week. Finals week. Oh boy. But like they're really happy and they're doing well. And it's nice just to kind of support them or celebrate them even better. So that feels really sweet. It's like, I just want you guys to be more in tune with like a more subtle energy, right? This is not a loud, look at me. I mean, actually kind of, they're a little look at me. Like this person is definitely not afraid. They're not a wallflower. You can see how they're dressed. Like, like they're kind of not an entertainer. They could be an entertainer. Some of you guys could literally be hearing from someone who's like an entertainer of sorts. Someone who's just not afraid to be themselves. Okay, this person is very unique. They've got their own thing going on, but they might just be new at something, or they're just reaching out for the first time. Okay, really good energy though. I like this. They could be like significant in helping you put down some of the burdens. It's like I feel like when you guys kind of let go of some of the responsibilities, beautiful birds flying. Like a new opportunity shows up for you. Okay, that's really great. And it's fun and it's a hell yes. Okay. It's just something that feels a little maybe unexpected, or it might come out of, I don't know. You have to be able to receive this kind of communication, and if you're too busy, fighting off like the bad guys or overburdened, it won't, you might not get it. You don't want to miss this, so put your swords down, put your wands down, go take a road trip, go get out of town, go book a travel, go do something outside of the little bit of I don't know. I just feel like some of you guys have just been doing the same thing for a really long time, and it's a good idea to take a break. Okay, we'll leave it at that. Okay. These messages resonate for those who need them, so my messages are general unless I go into a specific storyline. So if it doesn't resonate, just kind of leave it because it's probably for someone, it is for someone else. But I try to also, at least it just kind of comes through in my channeling. Like these are all things that affect us at any given moment in life. Like someone could be going through something that you just came out of or vice versa. So it's really nice to share this energy because I think we can all benefit from the wisdom, whether it's something that we're dealing with personally, or if we know someone who's kind of going through something, or maybe some of you guys see a friend who's got way too many burdens and you're like, hey, let me help you out. Let me like help you put down some of those burdens. You have the time, you have the energy, you have the enthusiasm, and maybe it's good to just help someone in need, okay? So it can play out in so many different directions, but if I share it, it's there's someone there who needs to hear that. And it's up to you. This is where the intuition comes through to recognize whether that resonates with you, okay? And let that land how it's going to land for you. And be open to it not being for you at all, and someone else who's on or listening to this needs to hear that message. So not everything is for everybody, but I feel like in general, like we can all kind of relate. And I try to keep it like that. It's not that I intend to keep it like that. It's just how it comes out, how it typically is. So I just kind of wanted to share that with you guys a little bit, because I never want my messages to upset people or alarm people or make them think like, oh my God, the sky's falling. Like, it's not. Like, you have to trust things resonate, you know, feel it. Like if it's like, yeah, I totally feel like that, then go forward with the message, okay? And I think you guys get it. I don't have to over-explain everything to y'all because you're all so advanced already, which is awesome. Been meeting so many great people lately and just feeling so like re-energized and re-excited about, you know, life in general. And it feels like a lot of new energy, you know, in terms of like the 10 being the completion and this great little page who's just like, hey, let's go, blah, blah, blah. It's fun. It's light. I think we've all been carrying way too much shit on our backs, y'all. And so we got to tune out. We got to drop the wands, even if dropping the wands means turning off the news, not talking to certain people, like making sure you clean up your diet, like all kinds of stuff. Like it doesn't necessarily have to be a literal, you know, like back-breaking work is what I'm hearing. So some of you guys are just, you're like pedal to the metal with something and you're really ready for it to wrap up. And I definitely encourage that. Yeah, that beautiful Two of Wands is just saying be open. This is someone who's willing to be open. And the card, this figure in this card has been kind of in his castle for a long time. And he's just stepping out onto the veranda. I love that word, veranda. Isn't that nice? It's a good word, veranda. I always never know what, like a balcony. No, it's not a balcony. It's not a porch, you know, veranda. I love that. Some of you guys are going to Italy. I know like half the world is in Italy right now. And like, while like everyone I'm talking to is like going to Italy or they are in Italy or anyways, I guess it's just summer. But it's good for you to step out and be open. So this figure's been kind of cooped up a little bit. He's just stepping out and realizing that there's a whole nother world out there. Okay. And so the advice is just to be open and just to start to feel into what this new possibility could look like for you. It's a great time to vision. Where do I want to be? Where do I want to go? I mean, he literally has the world in his hands. So if you are in a position where you have the freaking luxury, okay, to go do things, be grateful, because so many people would love to be, myself, I would love to be able to go to Italy, right? You know, like, it's not available for everyone. And for those that have the ability and the means to do so, do it for one, and maybe bring a friend with you. Maybe bring a friend, you know, and just be like, come with me, you know, like do what you can. You know, our resources are really, really starting to shift around and it's going to be a whole new game, y'all. So those of you who, and I've been kind of getting a little inkling of this and not to be like alarmist or anything in any way, shape or form, but there's like, seems to be in the culture, this whole like trope of like women who are married to men who have a lot of money. And then all of a sudden the guy comes home, the husband comes home and wants a divorce and the woman's left like, you know, shattered and penniless and all this stuff. And I just encourage you guys to be aware and awake of what's going on. And by no means am I like saying intuitively that this is happening for someone who's watching. I'm just saying, be aware, you know, like know what's going on in your world. Like you can't hide behind other people anymore. And those who have had power are losing power. And those who've had no power are gaining power. The whole freaking thing is being shaken up and turned around, and I'm here for it. Like, it's awesome. So for those of you who've been like the little engine that's just kind of doing your thing and trying new things and being really open and optimistic, like, you are expanding, and they want you to open up and just trust that there's more to come, okay? And it's really, really beautiful energy, and it really has everything to do with you feeling like there's more, like that there's more possibility, you know? I think so many of us like have been kind of locked away in that castle a little bit, you know, just feeling like you couldn't leave anyways, you know, maybe you were raising kids, or maybe you needed to get your finances in order before you could get the divorce, like whatever it is. And now it's like, oh, I see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I love this for you. And I really feel like you're looking for something that's more balanced, that's more equal give and take. That, start with that, right? Like, maybe if you don't know where you're going to end up, get into the feeling of like, I just want reciprocity. You don't want to be over giving anymore, overburdening yourself. This is a really nice balance coming through that I'm picking up. Like the teeter-totter thing, like that two of cup, like that two of pentacles, like you can stop it. You can get off the teeter-totter, right? You have the ability to get up and walk out. And I mean, I'm telling you, if anyone's ripe for that, like it feels fucking good, because I've done it, and I have like literally gotten up and walked out on meetings, on people, like, and because it was the right thing to do, and no shame. I mean, yeah, maybe I was a little emotional, but I feel good about my choices and the things that I've done. And I think for you guys, there's some big reward coming for when you just consider something like an adjacent possibility. You know, this doesn't have to be this big grand thing. It's just a slow shift in the way you work and how you work, the things that you're working on. It's really, really good. You are going in the right direction when you open up like that, when you think positively, when you look at the expansiveness of what's available to you, the resources that are available, all of that, just being open to that creates it. So we don't really want to jump in and try and figure it out too much anyways, because what if it's even better than our little human brain could think of, you know? Like, I just really encourage you guys to just receive, like, I don't even know. The word receive is not even like, it's getting like a worn out tire. You know, I hate when like words I love like are just way overused. And then they're like, they lose their power, you know? It used to be like receive was like the big word, you know, Esther Hicks and all these people receive. And now I hear that word and I'm like, you know, like it feels like, oh yeah, you know, it's kind of lost its power for me. But, you know, that's okay. It's about just letting some fresh air in, okay? Like, look at it like that. It's like breathing some new air and just letting something come in to you that feels expansive and really good. You know what I mean? Like the Six of Pentacles, this is a good card. You know, I mean, these are good people. And what we talked about earlier, remember the power flip? Like he's giving his money, he's being very generous. This is a good guy to be because he's helping other people. Okay. But that's the thing. These are technically beggars in this card, but the idea behind this card is that each of these figures rotates. And the person who's the beggar becomes the giver, and the giver has to be the receiver, you know? And it's this really interesting, subtle cycle that is behind this card that not a lot of people know about or talk about, that I find really fascinating. So if you've been in a position where you're like, I don't have enough, and you're relying on resources or people, you know, like this is gonna shift, you know? So appreciate where you are. If you are in an abundant cycle, freaking like love it. Be appreciative, especially if you've worked hard to achieve it. Okay. If you have more to give. Absolutely. If you are in a position to help people financially, especially, this is magic. And this is so, you feel good. You feel good when you give. And some of you guys really just, and I felt that, like I helped a man the other day. It wasn't with money, but he was a little confused as to where his car might be. And I was on my walk, and he was a little bit disabled, and I just made sure, to like get him to his car because he just seemed a little disoriented, and he was so thankful. And I was like, oh my God, it felt good. It felt good to give, and help people who might be in need. So I just think that we're creating a better world when we do that. And I'm not trying to preach here. I'm just trying to like reinforce any ideas that you might have about how you want to live your life in general. Okay. This is how I live now. It's balanced. It's equal give and take. There's no power, it's all good. And you're done with the stress. You're done with worrying about, if any of you guys are worrying about money, there's more coming. I don't know why I'm getting so many money vibes today. But I have to call it the way I see it, and it's good because it's good money. Maybe some of you guys are like, wow, you're finally earning that which you are worthy of. That's really nice. And if any of you guys have been stressed or concerned about really anything, you've got the Page of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles. This is saying release, let go, allow, put the swords down. Don't stress about this stuff, and just be open and available and lead with kindness. I feel like I'm giving a PBS, Sesame Street, post Sesame Street, public service announcement for kindness and generosity. Okay. Cause those two things are it. And it feels good. I just love that. I'm just getting that myself. So I'm letting that kind of land a little bit. Cause it really is some of us feel really good giving, but we just have to know, we have to have good boundaries. We have to know when it's too much, and I think that's part of the learning of the journey, is realizing when it's been too much and when you've got to put that down and rest and take a break and then start anew. It's kind of cyclical, right? Yeah, I mean, I feel for some of you guys, it's just the newness of something that, you just have to give it a go. They're saying, just try it. You don't have to rearrange everything. This is early stage. Any of you guys who are doing any early stage development, early stage planning, really, really good time, but you don't want to put anxiety into it. We talked about this last week with forcing the garden to grow, or the farmer who you plant the seeds and you let the seeds grow. You water them and you fertilize, whatever it is, but you don't sit there and stare at the seeds going grow, 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 You can't force it. Okay. This has got to be a gentle opening. And if you could do that and step away, plant the seed, step away, let the thing grow, it will be very abundant, So it's really good, especially if you guys this could even be in a relationship, a new relationship, a new connection. This is a very strong connection and will lead to commitment and marriage and stability and oh my God, this bird. Wow. Sorry, I get distracted. There's so much going on in the skies these days. It's so fun. Anyways, yeah, flying forward, right? So this is about you flying forward in ways that start small. It's it might start with a seed, but it will grow and expand and will create a very strong foundational energy for you that's very celebratory. It's good. Any of you guys who are establishing new things out there in the world, or who want to create a place where people can come and feel like it's fun and they're welcome, really good energy. I've been feeling like that for a while with some of you guys. So keep going with that. I feel like something's going to break open, I definitely feel like that. So if you're tired, rest, but don't you have to kind of let it just kind of come to the surface. They're saying there's a new emotion. You could have a crush on someone too, or someone could have kind of a crush on you. Here we go. Okay, specific message. Ding, ding, ding. You like someone, or they like you, and you really want it to be real, and you really want it to be the marriage thing and the commitment, but you're really stressed out, because you feel something, and so all your stuff's coming up, And it's incumbent upon you to take all these worries down, put these swords down. It will move forward more quickly, especially if you like someone and you want something to happen. You got to get through this. You got to get through the torture. And it's hard, man. I know whenever I've started a relationship that was really meaningful to me, it is so fucking stressful for me. Like, it is so incredibly challenging that I don't know why people like love the beginning of a relationship. Like, oh, when you meet someone and you like them, it's the best, but I know how terrifying it is. Like, so I feel like there is a new thing coming for some of you guys, like a new love, a new crush that will lead to really amazing things, but we have to not overthink it. Okay. It's not going to work. Okay. So you might get nervous. Like if you, like classic, right? Like you text them, they don't text you back right away. And you're like all in your head worrying about shit. Like they didn't call me today. Like, no, this is not that. This is like the kind of relationship that's just, it's really equal. Okay. So you don't want to put too much effort in, especially if you're the feminine. I think that gets us a little tripped up. Like, oh, well, I'll just do this. I'll just do all these things. And then the burdens. You're actually better off just kind of like staying on course for your life. Okay. So this could be a little bit of that hiccup I felt. Like maybe you guys are like, all of a sudden you finally planned like something, or you just, I was talking to a bro on Friday. We had the freaking council of bros. Oh my God. We had another meeting. It was awesome. Tarot for Bros is like the best. And any of you guys, I know I talk about it all the time, but I'm just like so proud of this company and it's really great. And so I'm super, super excited to be a part of it. And Tarot for Bros, just look them up on Instagram is a good place to start. It's super cool. So regardless, like I felt like this for someone, I totally lost my train of thought. That it was like, don't overthink it. Cause it kind of came through in a session. I was like, we don't want to like layer in too many complications, like right out the gate. You want everything just to kind of breathe and be open and kind of happen naturally. So when we start to think, that's usually just like our ego trying to fuck us up. Right. So there's a little bit of that, that emotional hiccup might make you a little bit stressed out, but it's temporary, like super temporary. So you just got to work through it. Anytime you guys get worried or stressed, go work out, go do something physical, go do something that gets that energy out. We need to express it. Okay. So however it shows up for you, if you're just kind of worried in general about life and where am I going to end up and my future and my stability, we got to like harness that. We got to turn these swords into these wands. Okay. So we're moving the energy forward, and we do that by getting grounded. Okay. Being grounded is super important. Pentacles require groundedness. So you need to go deeper into the fear. Doesn't that sound like fun? I know. Super fun to go deeper into the fear, but you just got to do it. You don't have to go far. You know what I mean? The Page of Cups is like, this does not require like 20 years of therapy. You just got to understand that there's a little bit of an emotional component beneath the stress. Go deeper, ground into yourself, and let that release. Just let that fear, the pain, the emotion, just let it out. It's really, it's a lovely thing to do. And as a matter of fact, it's something that we have to just keep doing. You know what I'm saying? Like this is cyclical. So there's going to be things that throw us off. We get stressed out. We go deeper into ourselves. We anchor into a deeper place, and we allow the emotion to come up and release. That's really all it is. And it doesn't really matter what it is. Like, it's just probably, fear, stuff from your childhood, past life stuff. It doesn't even matter the origin of that trapped emotion, but it's the release of it that matters. So this is where we don't have to analyze. We don't have to sit there and figure it out and be like, oh my God, my mom fucked me up. My dad was, no, the story is like, what's kind of giving you the problem. You got to clear the slate, you know. This is stepping out of that old story and being willing to trust in a new one. This is actually a really brave card. You know, the Two Wands doesn't get a ton of credit in tarot. It does for some people, but this actual step of going out onto the veranda, that's huge. Even though it's a two, it's like a big deal for you guys, or for some of you at least, to come out of that comfort zone, to come out of that which has kept you trapped and hidden. So it is really about being seen and coming out as yourself, being more playful, being more joyful, being a little more expressive. Like, let that all come up and out, and that feels fantastic. And when you do that, everything just comes rushing in. It's sort of like it almost opens the dam, and like all of a sudden all this creativity can come through, all these ideas come through, all this action is behind it, this passion. It's just this beautiful rush of energy that comes from an emotional release, an emotional connection, an emotional exchange. Wow. That feels really, really, really good. I almost want to just leave that story there, because we don't need to go in there and pick it apart. Like, just leave it there. Like, let that sit with you. If that message resonated for you, just let it. They're showing it to me kind of like sourdough bread. Like, you have to have like the starter, you know, and you got to get like, it takes a minute. The yeast has got to rise. This is not a fast process. It will be, but the beginning stages of it need to be, I don't know, cared for in a way. Okay. So just let yourself be in the newness of it. All right. Does that make sense? Okay. Let's shift gears a little bit. I'm just going to kind of move around a little. I'm going to keep it sort of short today because I'm heading up north for a little R&R myself. And I'm actually filming this on a Monday, by the way. I just wanted to be clear on that. I'm not imagining the energy is going to change much, but I wanted to make sure I connected with you guys because I won't be here on Tuesday. But I'm going to post it so it lands on Tuesday. But just FYI, in case the world blows up and I didn't predict that on Tarot Tuesday, this is actually Monday. All right. So I only did it this week to make sure that I could connect with you guys instead of once I'm out in the, you know, in the pool and stuff. I ain't doing this. I'm going to unplug. Okay. Not that I don't love doing this, because I truly do. And it's just getting better and better. So the things that you guys are starting to do, the things that you're involved with, the things that you love, it's just going to get better and better. You know, it's just, I woke up this morning with that download of like all the beautiful fields of like back to the farm, you know, analogy, the garden analogies, like all this beautiful soil, and like the little sprouts are just starting, like the bright green are just starting to come up, and it felt so good. And it was almost like this gentle rain was like, everything was just so beautiful. And like, I feel it right now. And I just really encourage you guys just to keep letting things crumble. Interesting. Maybe it is time to let things crumble a bit, you know? I mean, hey, you got to break a few eggs, right? As they say. So some of you guys, you're just done anyway. You know, like you're just like, you know, there's no more you can do in a situation. So you're like, all right, I'm just going to put some of this down. I really definitely feel that strongly for some of you guys. So just be aware that you are at the end of a long journey, and it's a good idea to just feel like, you know, try to put a new filter on the future, okay? If we're not seeing it clearly, it's because there's a block and we're burdening ourselves too much with something, too much responsibility, and we're not seeing that the future is actually quite fabulous, okay? So we just need to remove those filters, drop those wands, and then we're going to see where we want to be, you know? So if you guys don't have that clarity yet, that's totally fine. It's actually part of the process. Because you can't see, you know, with your third eye, if it's all layered up with like the story from the past, the wounding, you know, the burdens, the responsibility, you're not going to be able to see like, I need to go here, I need to go there. You got to clean off the windshield first before you can drive, okay? Does that make sense? Yeah, some of you guys are just ending loneliness. I do feel like that with that 10 of Wands, but it's kind of been a solo effort. Maybe some of you guys can relate to that. Like, oh God, I feel like I've been carrying everything on my back. Like I've been feeling like that a little bit, like, oh my God, I'm, kind of telling this to myself too, it's like, where can we put down some of those expectations or some of those responsibilities that maybe we don't need to be dragging around no more? You know what I'm saying? So I actually pulled out my break cards. I have not used these in so long, and this is a really special deck to me. You can't buy these anymore, unfortunately, because they were, I got them from the woman who created them. When I moved to Malibu from New York, there was a woman who lived on the beach. Not on the beach, but I lived on a little beach, which is so sad because it's gone. Like, oh my God, that little house that I loved, it's gone. Burned down in the fires last year. But anyways, she lived down the beach from me, and she created this deck, and she was incredible. I don't know what country she was from, but she was super mystic, And so she gave me a reading. She actually predicted me having my child, which I had no clue about, but it happened. She didn't really predict it. I think she anyways, I won't go into it. But so she has these decks that she made, and obviously I bought one, and now she's passed, so they're out of print. You can't really get them anymore. But for some reason, I felt like pulling them out, which is that beautiful generosity card. So there you go, back to that kindness that we talked about, being generous, giving. It's so strange because it's like, we're also talking about these burdens, like giving too much, but actually it's just, they're saying give it to the one you love the most, the thing you love the most, give it your all, give your all into that, and let that be like what you rule by. There needs to be a simplification of priorities, they're saying, a simplification of responsibilities, a divvying up of tasks. So some of you guys, it's time to create, like, I'm seeing it kind of like a chore wheel. Like, when you, like, I grew up in the 70s in Michigan, and like my mom did this chore wheel thing, which was kind of a fun, clever way to get kids to like dust or vacuum. And it kind of made me a little bit of like, it taught me how to take care of my space and to have a clean environment and all that. So it actually was kind of fun because it made it a game. I never say nice things about my mother, but there you go. There you go. She wasn't all bad, I'm sorry. I don't mean to digress around that, but I'm like, wow, that's a weird feeling to like actually be like, like have a positive memory. But you might want to just like create this sort of chore wheel. Like if any of you guys are in a position of authority, or you're run a business or a company or a team, you might want to be like, okay, today's the day, you do this and you do that, and you're in charge of watering the plants and you're in charge of vacuuming, like not literally, but in a way that's very clear about who's doing what. Okay. It doesn't have to be like a day-to-day thing. It could just be a general organization of responsibility. Okay. So do that for your, even do it for yourself. Like we all have shit we got to do. So maybe if we can schedule things a little bit more, like Mondays, I water the plant. You know what I mean? I would just Monday mornings, I always water my plants. Like Tarot Tuesday, like maybe little basic things like this are part of what you're building that help you navigate things in a way that is more joyful. Okay. And less burdensome, because you know how it is when you're like, try to be in the present moment, which is really what we're trying to do here, and you're worried about all the things you have to do, you can't be present. So if we can kind of like compartmentalize them a little bit, like I know people think that that's a bad word, but I'm like, that's actually kind of a great word, because it's about knowing, being in the moment when you're doing something. Like right now, I'm doing Tarot Tuesday. I'm not worried about all the other things. I'm here and I'm present. And I think that's the part that you guys can feel, that's where energy transmission comes from, is presence. So for those of you guys who are also like on Zoom calls and meetings, like being present is powerful. People feel that. And the people that you want to be with understand things like that. Okay. Like, I think a lot of you guys are just like, you're leveling up to such a different, like, kind of people that you're just around people who are generous, period. Absolutely. And they can be generous with their finances and their money. They can be generous with their time, with their energy. Like there is a way to be generous without being overly burdened by that. Does that make sense? Okay. Wow. Yeah, I feel like a nice flow. I feel a nice flow for you guys today. I would trust it. Like whatever it is that feeling of trust. Like you got to trust something. Like go out on the veranda. It's okay. Like I'm seeing that scene in Pretty Woman. You know how Richard Gere's like afraid to go out on the balcony or whatever the giant thing was. And she's like out there. Julia Roberts is like on the ledge, like, woo, you know? And he's like, be careful. And then at the end, you know, it's raining and she's gone. And he like walks out there and he's all like, oh, I realize this is the woman of my dreams. And, you know, it's actually really kind of a good movie. Like, I don't know if they make rom-coms like that anymore too much. But like, I actually think that's something like worthy of, you know, a watch on repeat, you know, when you're in a bad mood or you're just kind of feeling like you need something. Yeah, Pretty Woman. Okay, Archangel Gabriel. So that's nice. That's nice. That's all about communication. It's all about how you're sharing information. It's all about what comes through you. It's a really good time to speak up, to share, to talk, you know, especially if it's something emotional or if there's something that you're wanting to do. Like you can call in, like, for instance, if you have to have a conversation that you're a little nervous about, or you want to call someone, like, you know, like Tom Hanks. I'm getting a lot of movie references, like Tom Hanks when he in Sleepless in Seattle, when he like calls that annoying interior designer, but to ask her out on a date, and he's like picks up the phone with the cord on it, you know, it's like totally 90s. And he's like calling her, you know, like if you got to do something like that, or you have to like do something that is making you nervous, like call in Archangel Michael or call in Archangel Gabriel. Like just get into the energy, because he's the archangel of communication, right? So you can really like let him like come through you and just kind of get out of your way, get out of your ego, and just kind of imagine the energy of I keep saying Michael. I mean, Michael's great too, but Michael's going to get more like straight to the point. You know, Archangel Michael clears things out, you know, so you could kind of use both. You can use Michael to clear out the space, and then Gabriel when you actually have to get on and do the thing. You know what I mean? They can work together, you know, like they get it. They've been doing this a long time. So don't be afraid to call on your archangels to help you. I love the archangels. I just feel like very, like, I don't know, like I just somehow feel like they're more, I don't know, I just feel closer to them sometimes than people. Not all the time, but sometimes they're just awesome. So let me shuffle. See what wants to come through this deck. I hope you guys are good. It is time for a little quiet. Like, it is good to do the thing. Like, perfect example, you do the thing, the outreach, the communication, and then you just take a step back. Like, you don't start to stress if you don't hear back from someone right away. Or, yeah, you put yourself out there and no one's like commenting or liking your shit, or, you know, if you did something vulnerable and you're not getting like an immediate response, like just don't worry about it. Like you have to keep, it's like there's a new thing that's coming through you guys, you know, and you need to just keep trying like new things and just do your best and like try not to overthink any of it. It's just about sharing and about communicating. And if you can be a little vulnerable or be a little bit willing to be yourself completely and wholly, like you have to have a little bit of that like absurdity almost, like you have to be a little ridiculous, you know, like it's not like a normie thing, you know, that you're doing. So excuse me, don't be afraid to be a little bit eccentric. Okay, eccentricity is a good thing. I love people who are a little bit left of center, you know, and they're unique in their character, and they're kind of eclectic, and they've just marched to the beat of their own drum. Like, these are really special people, and I highly encourage you to surround yourself with them, people who just kind of think outside the box, you know, just create more of that for yourself, step into that for yourself, accept that about yourself, that you're just a little different, you know? Maybe, just maybe, you're just a little different. Opportunities, there you go. And then the opportunities just kind of start to flood in. I definitely feel like that for you guys. Like, let it come in like rain, like a rain, you know, storm. Like, actually, next time it rains, there might be a little bit of a message that comes through, or you might want to pay attention, especially for those of you guys who are near like thunderstorms and things like that. God, I miss that. You know, that's the one thing. We don't really get too many thunderstorms out here. We get plenty of earthquakes, obviously. I'm a little worried about that one that just happened in the Philippines. I don't like this earthquake shit going on. You know what I'm saying? That's a little unsettling. I know we're fine in California. I'm not worried about it. And I don't really worry about shit like that because I can't really control it. But for those of you guys who are like, you can sense some shit going on, you might wanna like climb the mountain, they're saying, or you might wanna get up higher altitude. If any of you guys are considering moving, or go north or go up, okay? I'm not saying that the world's coming to, I'm excited about where we are. I think we're in a really incredible time in history, and we're just here witnessing all of it. And I just really encourage you guys to embrace the possibility and the opportunities that come through for you, that especially if they seem a little bit different than what you think is acceptable, okay? Get outside that comfort zone. Definitely come out on the veranda. That's where the opportunities are. You have to go out there. Otherwise, they're not going to find you. You're not going to come knock on your door. You got to just step out. Especially for those of you guys now who I'm feeling like the single, like just step out. Like go, like you don't have to make it a big deal. You just have to go out. As I say that to myself, like, really? You know, I know. It doesn't have to be a big deal. I really feel like it's good for you guys if you're invited to something. These are good things. Like, you know, allow opportunities to come through invitation. That will be good, especially if it's someone that you really like, right? Archangel Raphael's here. Wow, you got a lot of angels. Hang on one sec. Wow. Dang. There's a big wad. Oh God. Okay. Sorry. I just had a really weird download and my dirty mind just, wow. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Come on. This is PG. Is it? I'm definitely more R-rated. For sure R-rated, because I swear, and now apparently I'm an X-rated reader because the shit I'm seeing is a little bit, wow. Okay. Anyways, I'm going to reshuffle here. Pardon me. If you guys could step in my mind and like see what goes on in there, you would totally understand, and you'd be like, girl, it's okay. I'm going to actually take a sip of my coffee or my tea, actually, just like erase some of that, because it's hard. Once you see it, you can't unsee it, you know? Anyways, God, you know, see, Spirit has a sense of humor, and it's not exactly, you know, I've been really feeling this, like my cynical psychic coming out going like, I'm over this like sanitized spirituality, you know? It's like everything's scrubs clean and all this shit. And I'm like, no, you know, it's messy. You know, and it's not messy, but it's just, it's like, yeah, it's a little fucked up, you know, it doesn't have to be like this perfect thing and la, la, la. I'm like, I like it. Like you roll out of bed and your hair's a little fucked up and like, you know, make spirituality sexy, okay? Like, why can't it be sexy? Like, why does it have to be so strict or so like, ugh, you know, sanitized? There's that generosity card again. Wow. Just feel into the energy of that card. Isn't it beautiful? The colors, like the brightness. There's just plenty of to go around. I'm also seeing like bougainvillea. So wherever bougainvillea is available, like that's a good sign. Some of you guys want to spend a lot of time in a garden, or you want to garden more, or you want to find a location to do an event, do it in a garden. It makes me actually want to, oh, hang on one second. I'm going to get this deck. Sorry. I just got like, see, there's a message right there. It's like, if you get the idea, take action, go do it. Okay, go do the thing. Like, all I felt like is I wanted to pull one of these cards from this is the Lenormand deck. It's based on the Lenormand system. But God, I haven't pulled this deck out in so long, but it's Tatiana's fortune cards. I don't even know where I got this, but I'm just feeling like I want to pull it out. Isn't it so cute? And it's all pink and like girly, and it's got all the images. Anyways, I just wanted to pull one of these out really quick because I just felt the need. Because we have that generosity card, and it reminded me of the garden card in Lenormand. If any of you guys are familiar with the Lenormand system, the garden card is what I was seeing. So if you don't mind, I'm just gonna like pull one of these cards, this little box that comes in. It's so adorable. This is very Page of Cups energy, right? It's cute, it's surprising, it's delightful, it's unexpected. You know, I wasn't expecting to pull this deck out. And it's just like this sweet little thing, you know? It's not like scary, okay? Watch, we get like a dark card. There's really no dark cards in here. It's just a very, it's a different system than tarot, but it's kind of connected. So I do feel garden energy for sure. So let that be, just if you go buy a garden, or you have the opportunity to go create one or visit one, like go spend time wherever there is something that has, like, whether it's, I'm seeing more flowers and like more of a floral experience than like vegetable garden, but absolutely like vegetable gardens too, all of it, especially tomatoes. I'm hearing you might want to start with tomatoes. Any of you guys who are planting a garden, I mean, tomatoes are like classic, right? You know, you could be growing your own tomatoes, your own basil, or it could just be flowers. You know, if any of you guys are interested in florals or flower arranging, that feels really good. Oh my God, no joke. This is the freaking garden card. I knew it. See, you can't write that stuff. It was at the bottom of the deck when I decided to look. This is exactly the garden card. And you can almost see, even though these are very different energy, different decks, how they all kind of connect, you know, that beautiful garden energy. And I love this little bridge here. So let yourself like open up and receive, be generous with yourself, right? I feel like, you know, this is about just letting yourself be open and available to yourself, right? Like kind of like this, your own best friend. Like I'm almost seeing someone like sitting in a garden and just like engaging with themselves in a way, like whether it's through journaling or just like through visualization, and just giving yourself that love and care that you would give a friend is super important. Okay. So if you can take care of you, and you are generous and, you know, benevolent and kind to your own self, that's where it starts. That's actually what's required. And they don't really teach you that growing up, you know? It's so externalized. And if we could just give ourselves that minute, that moment to check in and feel into that energy, that's where it all begins. That's where it starts. And for some of you guys, just doing that is stepping out into the veranda. Is like, wow, really feeling into that heart space. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, and you're more attractive. That little fox comes by. Okay, we're gonna start to wrap it up because my mind is gonna go into dirty land again, and I can't. I got too much to do today. But like, I feel like for those of you guys like that are kind of feeling me in that garden energy of yourself, your generosity, you're kind of in your own energy and you're just kind of loving where you are and who you are, and you feel like you've got everything and it's just really juicy energy. Then this little fox comes along and he's like, I'm going to come chase you down. I'm going to like get you. So any of you guys who are single and like, you have got like a very clever being coming in, and, it's very on. So like, just be in your own energy, let yourself open up, like go buy yourself some fresh flowers. Let that be a reminder every day of like how much abundance you have within you, around you. And just like that, boom, everything just kind of goes from there. So with that said, I hope you guys have a really great week ahead. Thank you so much to everyone who's joined. if you want to subscribe or like. I'm just starting to get this little channel going. I'm really enjoying what we're doing here, and I'm so appreciative and grateful for those of you who watch me, who, put up with me, and who share the messages with those that might need it. Feel free. I'm always here for you for private sessions. I've got more news coming in, more to share with you guys. And I just hope you have a really amazing week, because the energies are so supportive and they're so prosperous. So keep going and keep growing, and I'll see you soon.